Bold action from the White House on immigration this week as a new executive order is aiming to deter migrants by stationing hundreds of socially awkward men at the southern border. Immigration officials hope the men's generally off-putting demeanor and strained attempts at conversation could curb illegal border crossings by at least 30%. ONN's Everett Fletcher was at the border for the rollout of these painfully introverted freaks and joins us now. Everett, these guys seem really weird.
That's right. The new policy went into effect just days ago, with socially awkward men deployed at border checkpoints across Arizona and Texas. And officials say they've already seen signs of success. Kamala Harris herself paid a visit to the border this week and was so impressed by their bizarre attempts at small talk, she vowed that her administration would actually double the number of mouth-breathing men staring at the ground along these checkpoints.
That's interesting to note because this executive order is Democrats' most aggressive crackdown on immigration yet, calling for these men to, quote, wear ill-fitting clothes, demonstrate a complete inability to tell when a conversation is over, even to offer to drive the immigrants wherever they're going. There's some really strong language.
Strong but effective. We've already heard reports of migrants, sometimes entire families, changing their minds when they get to the border and turning around immediately.
O sea, y era algo favorable, que ni escucharon que era el asunto que yo estaba tratando, pero me agredieron.
Now, despite the effectiveness, progressive activists I've spoken with strongly disagree with this policy, calling it inhumane and cruel, saying that we should be welcoming people fairly and legally, not subjecting them to unnatural smiles and esoteric facts about fantasy battles. Representative Pramila Jayapal spoke out against the policy just today, saying, quote, "This is not who we are as a country. We are charismatic and normal."
Right, but by far the harshest criticism of these weirdos has come from Republicans. Texas Governor Greg Abbott calling out the policy this morning as, quote, "Too little, too late. Typical Democrats are weak on immigration. We know the only way to stop these criminals is covering the entire border with one big weird man." One big weird man, something conservatives have been pushing for years now.
Which, of course, Democrats say is not ethical or realistic, but that hasn't stopped former President Trump from promising one if elected.
Fascinating to see how this will play out. Thanks, Everett. Coming up next, shocking footage of a high-speed chase as police race to flee the scene of another school shooting. You're watching the Onion News Network, the only cable news network that watches back.